Welcome everyone to this week's episode of On Talk, and I'm Jack, and today I'm going to be your host once again. And now I'm supposed to meet a really special guest of today's episode, so let's go meet her.
I love to wake up in the morning, but keep dreaming without wording. The day is gone, and sometimes I take a walk, but I forget about the clock. I can slow down.
Hello, Selena.
Oh, hi,
Long time no
Jack.
see.
Oh,
How are you?
Here, just good.
Would you like to catch up?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, let's go somewhere. It's so
Yeah.
hot here.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's go. Welcome, Selena, to this week's episode of On Talk. And from what I've heard, you actually studied in university in Hanoi for a year, and now you're moved to Ho Chi Minh City to study in another university. Is that correct?
Yeah, currently I'm a second year student. I've lived in Hanoi for 1 year and then I moved to Ho Chi Minh City for the last 6 months.
Wow. So, what would you describe as the greatest or the biggest difference between the two universities?
In general, they are quite similar because they are the same university, but like the difference is about the student there, the people and the lecturers and the culture.
Wow.
Like for example, the student, I kind of went in with the Hanoi student more because they are same culture as me. But when I moved to Ho Chi Minh City, I have to learn their new culture and adapt to it.
Well, considering you're a second year student at university, you must have had a lot of experience that hopefully that you can share with our audience here today. So, first question, when you first entered university, what was the difficulty that you had to face?
Well, the biggest I have faced is like the difference when I moved from the like high school to university. Is the studying environment is very difficult because we are normally get used to studying with teachers and they were very care to us.
Yeah.
But now when I moved to university, they are like completely different when they actually self-studying more than like learning with the teacher.
Wow, must have been really difficult.
Yeah, we have to learn it by ourselves more. Like because in my school we don't have many lessons. I only take three subjects per semester.
Wow.
So like, and each subject I only have to study like 3 hours per week. Yeah,
Wow.
so it's very like light work, but a lot of assignments and deadlines to do.
Yeah. So, from what I've heard, university lecturers aren't as approachable as teachers in high school, in secondary school. So, is it true, or like, can you actually interact with the lecturers after the lecture? Can you ask them additional questions about what you don't understand about the lectures?
Yeah, like actually they are very friendly. They not really care like what are you doing in class, but after class they are very encouraging you and willing to answer all of your questions, and they always be there when you need it by emailing them or come meet them face to face.
Wow. Yeah. So now we'll talk about the lecturers. What about your fellow students? Like during where you study is the lecture hall. So do you usually interact with the students in the same semester?
Yeah, like because I took different subjects at the time, so I have to work with different students, with different people, and like normally about 30 people per class, and then we have to work in groups or individual.
Okay, so you can actually choose.
Yeah, we have to choose, or
okay.
sometimes the lecturer will assign our teammates.
Okay. So speaking of assignments, there must be deadlines that you have to meet, and I think similar to high school is really difficult. It's really scary when the deadline approaches. So, what advice would you give like students that just entered university to help them like get through the deadlines?
Like I would say they should start it at the soon stage.
Okay.
Like they should look at it before it actually comes, like about 3 or 2 weeks before the deadlines, and they have to like have a draft and then come up with some questions or what they don't understand so that they can ask the lecturer. And then after that they will have to like have a finish, and they have to scan it very quickly and then submit it before like the deadline, because if they are too late they can be in like in deep pressure.
Okay. Wise words, and
Yeah.
I hope that our viewers at home actually noted down your
Yeah.
advice, because that would help them quite a bit. So, like, when you move into university, do you think it's better to stay by yourself or with a friend than staying with relatives? Because like I have seen students in both cases.
Yeah. So when I was in Hanoi, I rent a house, a small flat with my one of my like acquaintance.
Uh-huh.
And then when I moved to Ho Chi Minh City, I actually stayed with my relatives. They are not very strict, and they very like encourage me to go outside and go with my friends. So I actually kind of free there.
Okay. So well, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm sure that when you go to university, you will get the opportunity to meet many more people and to hang out more, to go to more places, since now you're more independent. So, well, a personal question: what is the part that you enjoy the most about university life?
I love meeting new people, and I have know a lot of people from different backgrounds and know their personality and their lifestyle and learn so much from them. Like in Hanoi, I joined a school club,
Uh-huh.
and then we did a lot of projects together, and I learned so much from the leader as well as my teammates. And when I go to Ho Chi Minh City, I also join some clubs, and then I have like play sports or I go to the different events. So it also helped me to learn new things besides from like knowledge.
Wow. So, also you are doing a lot of extra curriculum activities. So, would you recommend other students do the same? Like, if they have to combine both studying and doing activities, would they be pressured? Would they feel tired or exhausted at the end of the day?
I will encourage them to like join in more curriculum, because actually in my school we have a lot of like free time.
Okay.
So in that time they should like self-studying, or they should join in other activities, so that they can have more knowledge or have new skills or meet new friends and talk to them.
Wow. Okay, so also I know that many students, they don't do extracurricular activities for granted. They want to achieve something. So I want to ask you, like, do these activities contribute to your scores or your grades at the end of the year?
Actually, no, because they are just for like apart from the studying. The curriculum is just optional, but it's necessary for when you go to work, when you can include it, like your curriculum or activities in your CV, so that the employers, they will notice that beside from your study record.
So yeah, in the long run, it's very, very beneficial. Okay, so one thing that I noticed that many students do work part-time during university, maybe to earn some money to help them with the university life. So personally, are you working part-time?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so like, do you think that it's difficult to work part-time, do extracurricular activities, and also study at the same time? Like, do you think it is a good idea to do that?
Well, I think it's a great idea, but like they have to have a like super time management skill, because very difficult to handle all everything at once.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes the school timetable is not fixed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like sometimes you have the pop-up events that you have to join, but you have your work, so that it's kind of hard for you to handle everything else.
So everything should be balanced.
Yeah,
and
they have to balance.
well planned out. I hope you're listening.
Yeah.
And one more thing, like, obviously there are many opportunities. There are also requirements that you have to meet during university. So, because when you go to university, you're obviously very far from the people you're familiar with, your family, your friends. So, some people might feel homesick. So, where can you get help in these situations when you don't know anyone yet? So, who are there to support you?
Well, actually, I've been there once when I first got into university, like because I was living alone for like a month, and I didn't like know the city well, and I don't have any friends there. So I was keep calling my parents like all day long.
Wow.
Just when they are free, I will call them, and then my parents are the biggest, are my biggest
Supporter.
supporter. Yeah.
Wow. Must have been really hard.
Yeah.
So I bet our viewers would like to know much more about university life, but I think it's a journey for them to figure out on their own. So just before we wrap up this episode, do you have any message to our viewers about university life that you need to consider when you go to university?
So I would like to encourage them that they should definitely enjoy their university life, because after the school you will have to work a lot and you don't have as much as free time as you have now. So just enjoy it.
Wow. Great advice, and I hope that everyone will consider that advice really seriously. So, like every episode previously, we always have a small quiz at the end of the show to give to our viewers, just to interact a little bit. So, can you please give the quiz of the day?
Okay, so what do they call a first-year university student? That's your question this weekend.
I hope you listen good.
Thank you for inviting me to this show.
It's been a pleasure. And if you are the first to answer the question that Selena just said, you'll get a really special prize from Apple Language Center. And until next time, see you.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.